Hey guys, Brett Collier here from Train with Brett personal training, boot camps and insanity classes. Just thought I'd make another video on the spot. As you can see, it's not distracting me from driving because I'm completely concentrating on what I'm doing. But I've got to find moments in my day to try and make these videos because I've just become a daddy for the second time, which is why I've got these black bags under my eyes and I'm feeling extremely tired. Not as tired as my wife though, but that's why I got red eye and black eyes. So anyway, I thought I'd make this video because I was speaking to one of my clients about a couple of things, and I've seen a couple of videos online recently that have kind of bothered me. There are a lot of people in the fitness industry that give a lot of advice, and that's great. You know, giving people advice is fantastic, but only if the advice is true and accurate. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't give people advice. Yeah, it doesn't help anyone. All right. So what I wanted to talk about today is kettlebells. A lot of people are really getting into their fitness routines at the moment. They're finding what suits them, whether that's training once a week, twice a week, every day. It doesn't make a difference. Some people are training at home, some people are training at the gym. What I've found is that in a lot of places you go, kettlebells seem to be resonant. You can buy them in Tesco's, you can buy them in supermarket, Argos, you can buy them online. Everyone uses them. They're a really good piece of kit. I'm actually a qualified kettlebell coach, so I'm actually qualified and properly certified to actually teach people. You'll find a lot of PTs will teach people kettlebell exercises, but what they're really doing is transferring information and knowledge from dumbbells and barbells and other free weights and trying to apply them to kettlebells. And kettlebells are completely different. They're not like any other free weights. First of all, kettlebells work on, what's it called? Momentum and sort of like a pendulum exercise. They work on, I can't remember the word of it, but they work on the principle that the weight increases as you fling the weight, as you use the weight and spin it and swing it, the weight increases. And I'll try and remember the name of it, what it actually stands for in a minute. But basically, as a result of that, they don't work in the same way that normal weights do. When you lift a barbell in a bench press, or when you lift it overhead, that weight weighs 40 kilos or 50 kilos or 60 kilos at the bottom of the rep, in the middle of the rep, at the top of the rep. For a kettlebell, it completely increases all the way through the range of motion. So you can swing a 12 kilo kettlebell, and at the bottom of your rep, it's going to weigh 12 kilos. But as you increase the swing, and as you start to move faster through the swing, and you start to pivot the exercise, what you'll realize is that actually the weight is a lot heavier from the momentum of you swinging it. It's a dynamic exercise. It's not supposed to be a static exercise like a bench or a squat. So as a result, the principles of using it change. First of all, you don't stay in a fixed position when you do a kettlebell swing. You move, you change, the position changes as you swing through it. And what I'm going to do is supplement this video with a demonstration video to actually show you how to do these exercises properly. But a kettlebell swing is one of the key ones, and it's one of the main exercises people do first off when they start using kettlebells. A lot of people do it because it offers variety to their workout, but also because it's a real nice mixture between a strength workout, a strength exercise, and a cardiovascular exercise and workout. It mixes the two together, which is great, and that's what you want. You want the most efficient workout to give you muscle tone, muscle definition, help you to lose weight and build muscle at the same time. And that's exactly what kettlebells do. Like I said, the video I'm going to do after this will actually show you how to do that exercise properly, but I'm just going to quickly talk through the principles of how that exercise actually works. The reason that exercise works so well and why kettlebells work so well in general is because all of the exercises massively incorporate the core. Okay, your core muscles. This is your abdominals, your lower back muscles, your upper back muscles, your obliques. And they work the core in such a dynamic way that a lot of people are actually quite scared of using kettlebells because they feel they can damage their back. The truth is, if you do exercises badly, any exercise can damage your back, but kettlebells is even more so because of the power and the strength that's put through the weight when you do it. And the double arm swing, which I'm going to show you, is actually one of these exercises that can really work the back well if you do the exercise properly, but actually could damage the back if you do it incorrectly. And the problem is, everyone does the exercise, not everyone, but a lot of people do the exercise badly, to the extent where they're actually going to damage their back. They're actually going to jar the back, they're going to shear the spine, and people are using free weight techniques to teach kettlebell exercises, and it's completely the wrong way. So that's what I'm going to clear up. So the way people do them is when they do a double arm swing, which is where you have the weight in front of you and you swing it up in front, they think it's kind of a combination between like a squat and a frontal deltoid raise, when you bring your arms up in front of you and you work your shoulders. This exercise does not work the shoulders at all. Not even a tiny bit. You're not even using the shoulders to lift this weight. And I don't care what anyone says, if you think you do, it's wrong. You're not using your shoulders to this exercise. You're also barely using the legs. I know you're standing on them, but really the bend that you've got on the legs is only there really to stabilize. You're not actually bending the knees and lifting from the legs at all. It's nothing to do with the legs or your quads specifically. The main muscles you use in a double arm swing is your glutes, you use your lower back, and you use your abdominals, your abs, okay? It's all core if you look at it. Glutes, lower back, and abs. So 3 main muscles there, and 2 of them are main core exercises. When you do the exercise, you're not trying to simulate a squat and lift. It's not a squat and lift. What you're doing is at the bottom of the swing, you're catching the weight more like a crunch, like an abdominal crunch. That's where you should feel the exercise working, is in your abdominals at the bottom of the rep as the weight swings down. You don't feel it at the top and you don't feel it when you bend your legs. Your legs should be almost in the same position throughout the exercise. You shouldn't have a big bend in the knee. You shouldn't be squatting when you do this exercise. Where you should be bending is at the hips, okay? Not at the waist, lower down than that, at the hips, and you should be simulating a deadlift. So it should look like a deadlift. You should be bending at the waist and bending straight like that at the hips so you can feel it in the lower back. You should not be bending the knees. If you bend the knees, what you're doing is you're adding another, what's called a fulcrum point, where you bend. You're adding another fulcrum point in, which you don't need to add in, and this is what adds pressure to the lower back, and that's how you can shear your back, okay? So as a result, do not bend your knees excessively, do not squat, simulate a deadlift exercise to do the double kettlebell swing properly, and I'll demonstrate what that is later. Also, the swing up is a byproduct. It's not a part of the exercise that does anything to the muscles. It's just because you're swinging it up and you're catching the weight at the bottom. Lifting way up in front doesn't do anything. It's not a part of the exercise where you should feel any benefit. You're not really working the shoulders in that lift because your bum, your glutes, and your lower back swing the weight up. You shouldn't really be working the shoulders to actually make that part of the exercise anything that's working the muscle. You shouldn't be feeling it in your delts. You shouldn't be feeling it in your shoulders at all. If you do, you either got too heavy a weight or you're not swinging it effectively enough with your glutes. So that's another key thing. Also, there's an alternative to doing the standard double arm kettlebell swing, which is called the American swing, which is basically where you lift the weight right up in the air, so it's above your head. Okay, I can see why people would want to do that. You know, if they feel they've got more force coming down, they're going to be working their core and their glutes and the lower back harder to actually make the exercise more beneficial. But you don't need to be lifting the weight that high above your head. Like I said, the swing is coincidental. It doesn't actually add anything to the exercise. What it does do is it just makes the force coming down when you catch the weight at the bottom stronger. But if you're doing that, why don't you just use a heavier weight? You know, instead of you using a 12, use a 16 or a 20. If you haven't got heavier weights and you want to make the exercise harder, then yeah, go for an American swing where you're going right up over the head with the kettlebell straight. But actually, it doesn't add anything, so don't do it because you don't need to. And I'm happy to take any responses to this where people, especially CrossFit people, say no, you have to do an American swing. You don't have to do an American swing. You just need a heavier weight. If you haven't got a heavier weight, then fine, do overhead swing. But if you're doing CrossFit, you probably have enough kit to be able to do a proper kettlebell swing, and you don't need to go way above your head because there's no benefit to putting it up there. And I'm sure there's a few elitists out there that will say, yes, you have to retract your shoulders and everything, which is true, but you don't need the heavier weight to do that or to go above your head to do it either. So that's the first video I'm putting out. Part 2 will follow up when I actually show you how to do the exercise correctly. And you will see, I'll also show you the demonstration of warm-ups you need to do in order to do kettlebells correctly. A lot of people will think that you need to just go straight from doing a cardio workout and a cross trainer, maybe a few lunges and stuff to improve it. You don't. You need to do a proper hip engagement, upper body engagement, core activation as well. So yeah, apologies I look tired, I'm a little bit sleep deprived, but more videos will be coming up. I wanted to put this one out because I had a spare few moments today in order to get it out. Have a look online, have a look at some of the videos out there of people coaching the kettlebell double arm swing. There are a lot of people who do teach it correctly, like the deadlift, but don't be drawn into the fact that thinking it's some kind of squat, because it's not, and that's really a good way to damage your back if you are going to use kettlebells. I've got a lot of clients I teach them with, some of them up to the age of sort of 50, 60 years old that do kettlebell swings, and it really strengthens the core. It's a great exercise as well as being a good cardiovascular workout as well. So keep watching. If you need any advice, any tips or anything, give me a shout, and as always, train hard, don't go home, but train hard and do really well, and if you want to, train with Brett. Alright, cheers guys, hopefully I will see you soon. Bye bye.